Everybody, welcome back to Mohawk Motors. My name is Jason, and I'm finally, man, I feel like it's been a struggle. I'm finally back down in the workshop. It's actually Tuesday evening, and man, it's just a lot of stuff has been coming up recently that's been making it difficult for me to get down here. We went camping a week ago. On our way to camping, somebody rear-ended our camper and messed up the back of it pretty bad. I'll put some pictures in here for you to see that. But been dealing with their insurance. Thankfully, they had insurance. Been dealing with their insurance to try to get that all sorted out, find a place to do the repairs, get that all taken care of. And then while we were gone, we had like perfect grass growing conditions. So I've been using up every ounce of daylight to try to get all the mowing caught up with around the property. And then wouldn't you know it, of course, my wife's van is due for service also. So I've got that in here tonight. I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth between that and the K5, trying to get some kind of progress made on this thing. But just seems like sometimes life gets busy and you gotta do what you can. And that's what we're doing. So the good news is my transmission to transfer case adapter came to adapt my 4L80 to the NP208. And as I mentioned before, that transmission to transfer case adapter, as far as I know, any GM new process transfer case with an aluminum housing and the 6-bolt pattern, you can use this adapter to mount it to a 4L80. And obviously you have to make sure that you've got the correct input on the transfer case. 4L80 has a 32 spline output. You need a 32 spline input to meet up with that. But this will let them physically bolt together. And I think I'm gonna start the evening off by getting that transfer case out. I'll do a test fit just for demonstration purposes to show you guys that it fits. And then I wanna get the adapter bolted to the transmission so that it's ready for me to try to slip it into the K5. I do have some stuff to do on this thing before I actually stick the engine in there. I'm still waiting for motor mounts to come, and I want to, at minimum, get the stuff I know I'm not going to need out of the engine bay. A lot of that old harness we're not going to need. Some of the other stuff in here we're not going to need. So we're going to get that stuff out of the way and probably pressure wash it, get it nice and clean in here, because, man, I don't like getting oily and greasy when I'm working on my own stuff. And then we'll be ready to try to snake that 4L80 and that 6-liter down in back to where it goes. Looks like I might need to get this thing up on the lift and get some of the fuel lines and other stuff out of the way too. But nothing extremely difficult, nothing extremely complicated. Should be able to get it all taken care of. Let's get to work. Well, I've got the original iron adapter off. This side is transfer case side. This side made it up to the Turbo 400. This transfer case came out of, if I remember correctly, it was a 1986 K20. And that particular K20 had a Turbo 400 automatic transmission and was obviously 4-wheel drive. And the Turbo 400 transmission uses the same 32 spline output shaft as the 4L80. The Turbo 400 and 4L80 are actually very similar transmissions. That's beside the point. The important thing here, though, is the iron adapter. Unfortunately, the Turbo 400 6-bolt pattern is not the same as the 4L80 6-bolt pattern. They're both in a hexagon shape. Unfortunately, the spacing of the bolts is not exactly the same. You could probably make it work, but for the price of this adapter, or if you have a donor truck that you're pulling this stuff out of, you'll have it for free. It just use the right adapter, right? So this is transmission side, obviously. This is transfer case side, and I don't have the gasket on. This is just a test fit, but you can see, click right in place, and then just use the bolts that came with the NP208. You thread them in. When I do final assembly on this, I will be using some washers on these bolts because it's a 3/8 bolt with a 9/16 hex, and I would like a bit more support around my bolt holes on my aluminum adapter here. But as you can see, all 6 bolts, thread right in, line right up. The depth is the same as the original adapter from transmission output flange to transfer case input flange. So everything works. It just lines it up perfectly. You're good to go. So verification, now I know I'm good. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the adapter bolted up to the transmission so I'm able to actually rest it on the transmission cross member when I try to get everything fitted into the truck. So there you have it, guys. Like I said, I'll put the link to this thing in the description for you. I bought this one on eBay. They're available on Amazon, Rockauto. Like, you can find this thing anywhere. Very easy to find part. You just shop around and find it for the best price you can. I don't think anybody's knocking them off because there's just not enough money to be made to be worth the effort. And their good GM original ones are plentiful. So happy with that. Let's get this thing bolted to the back of the transmission. All right, guys. Well, it's about an hour later. I'm calling it for the night. I did get the adapter bolted onto the transmission. Everything fit up exactly how it was supposed to. I did put the rubber seal between the adapter and transmission housing, so shouldn't have any leaks there. No problem, should be all good. I also finished up the service on my wife's van. I'm pretty meticulous about my service and maintenance. Preventive maintenance is just the best thing you can do for your vehicle. And she's putting a lot of miles on it, commuting back and forth to work, so every 5,000, I go through it, change the engine oil, check the tire pressures, rotate the tires, grease anything that needs to be greased, check the brakes, check the lights, top off the washer fluid, check the antifreeze, check the auxiliary antifreeze because this is a hybrid, and just give the thing a top to bottom look over because I want it as well maintained and as safe as possible to make sure she doesn't have any issues and it lasts for a long, long time. So everything checked out, everything looked good. I'm happy with that. I'm letting it cycle for a minute here, running the engine, make sure there's no oil drips or anything else. Everything's good. I'll shut it off, double check, make sure the oil is full. And then I'm gonna take it up to the house, park it so it's ready for her in the morning, and go to bed. I've had a late night the last couple nights just trying to get stuff done and get caught up. So it's 11 o'clock. It's just enough time for me to get a shower, chill down for a few minutes, and then get to bed before midnight. So that's it for this part. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, folks, it's the next evening now. I'm back down in the workshop. I'm on a side quest. I'm distracted. Low on motivation. So I'm tackling something that is low threat level. And it's seat covers. So my 2017 Silverado, recently I showed this thing just hit 100,000 miles. I did a big service on it. And I'm making a repair / upgrade on this thing. This truck, just like many Silverados, is getting really close to driver's seat blowout. You can see here, we got a little bit of foam starting to show through. She's getting pretty rough. So now's the time. I really want to get some seat covers on this thing and try to prevent that seat edge from blowing out completely like they do on some of the GMT 800s. So I've got a kit here. It came from Amazon. It does look like it has pretty nice instructions, color pictures. So far, they've been very helpful. And I'm gonna get these installed. I'll probably just go through it and bring you back when I'm done, show it to you, and let you know how it went. But if it's a good kit and I end up liking it, I'll put a link in the description for you. If I get through it and I don't like it, then I probably won't put a link in the description for you. But I'm gonna try it. I paid for it. I wanna try to keep my seat from getting totally blown out over here on the side. And these should help. So I'm getting after it. I'm doing something. I'm trying to move the needle just a little bit because I'm low on motivation. Hopefully this will get me moving and I can try to do a little bit more when I'm done. So I'll see you guys in a while. I'm gonna put a movie on and get these covers on. Well, it's coming up on quitting time for me. It's a little after 11. Did not do as much as I thought I was going to, but I did get some stuff done. I got the seat covers on the passenger and driver side seat. I'm pretty happy with how they fit and how they look. I wish they didn't I wish they weren't loose here in the back section, and both of them are like that, but I don't think there's anything. The instructions don't show any way to get rid of it. I don't think there's anything I can do, but maybe as it's sat in and ridden in, it'll relax and conform to the seat a little better. But they do resolve, or they do address my concern, because they're nice and thick and durable, and it'll prevent me from putting any more wear into the actual seat upholstery itself over here on the edge. So I'm happy with that. I only did the 2 front seats, and then I really just wound up getting the back all cleaned up and everything else. You can see I've got my kids' seats back here. It's pretty filthy. It was time for a tidy up, so got everything cleaned up, toys all put back together, put back where they go. And it's ready for we have another trip coming up at the end of this week, so it'll be ready for that trip. But I'm going up to get some rest. I'm actually taking this truck tomorrow to meet a gentleman who is interested in buying it. So got a little road trip in this to go see if we can make a deal. And that'll probably be the next thing you see. I'll be back. I'll let you know if it's still here or if it has a new owner. See you guys tomorrow. Well, everybody, it's the next evening, and I've been down here in the workshop just tidying up a bit. You notice the silver single cab is gone. I did end up selling it today. I've been kind of mulling it over. I wanted to sell the truck, but also didn't want to sell the truck. I wanted to get my money back out of it so I can put that into some of the other projects, the CUCV, for example. You know, we've got the engine. It's been here on the stand for a while now. It's ready to go in. I've just been trying to free up the funding to work on that. And also, like, I put a lot of work into that truck. I learned a lot building that truck. I definitely improved upon some of my skills and abilities working on that truck. And I just had a lot of fun doing it. I really enjoy the GMT 800 platform. I like building those trucks. I like learning new things about them and just trying to make something as good as I can and then enjoying it for a bit and then letting it go to a new owner and letting them enjoy it. So I'm going to tidy up a little bit more down here. We're getting ready to go on a trip, and I really am not going to have any time today, this evening or tomorrow to pressure wash this thing and make the type of progress that I feel is worthy of documenting. So I'm just going to call it for this video. I appreciate all of you watching, commenting, watching, subscribing, commenting, and watching. I appreciate all of you. So thanks a lot for the support, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.